How was the New Year's for you? Did you enjoy, the New Year's and the holiday time?
Yeah, the New Year's holidays, I stayed at home with my family, with my wife, with my children. It was very fun.
Of course, that's
And
yeah. We can't do too much anything crazy these days, right? So just got to keep it tight and personal with the family.
yeah,
I just wanted to talk about the last fight right off the bat here, and forearm choke.
yeah,
You've gotten two of those before this one, so this is your third one, right? I mean, is that something you
yeah.
practice, or is it like just happens?
No, it's my favorite choke on training with my coach on grappling. I very much time make this choke and how you have seen in the cage. It's really good choke for heavyweights. I think in middleweight and lightweight, it's not so easy to make this choke.
Yeah, right. Because the extra weight that you guys have on you, right? That
Yeah.
definitely helps with that position and everything. Uh, have you ever gone for it and like not got it? Because you've gotten three of them now, and it's working out pretty good for you. So like, seems like something that's hard to defend against your style.
Yeah.
Uh, and just for your UFC run so far, off to a great 2-0, as was mentioning there. And is this gone like about as good as you could have hoped for? Because it's been flawless. So is this exactly what you imagined?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's working out good. Um, well, of course, maybe not so good would be the fact that you had, the four fight cancellate or three cancellations before, finally getting in
Yeah.
there to take on Rocky Martinez. But I'm just curious, like, how was it hard dealing with, the virus and everything? Of course, that impacted you before getting in the octagon, but like, what was that experience like?
It's uh, I don't know. It's this problem with this virus was in first fight when I must have fight in Lincoln. In my country was closed all airports, all these things. Yeah, and second time when I must fight with Tibura in Abu Dhabi. I have I give the COVID test and COVID test made positive, and all my team stay in quarantine. And after this, my opponent the Lima have tested positive, and yeah, it was crazy times for me and for my team. But it's when we go this hard way, we make stronger. And I think it's from one side it's bad, but from other side it's very good.
Yeah, kind of made you maybe change up training a little bit after that and just be a little bit more cautious so that it doesn't happen again, right?
Yeah, we have changed all our training camp because uh, before the COVID problems, we have opened our training camp with very much people can come on our trainings, but now we have in close form, yeah, just 6 5 people um, in sport room, yeah, and without other people come and when we have our training.
Right, of course, makes sense there. Man, you're one of those the few fighters, representing Moldova, right, where you're from originally and everything. I'm just curious, is that like something that is very important for you to, be a very good and strong representation, for your country, fighting in the UFC now and everything?
Yeah, we have just 3 fighters in the UFC from Moldova, and I think that this is a very uh, um, very good for so little country. And in Europe, we have bigger countries, but they have not fighters in the UFC. And I think that three fighters from our small country is very good result.
Yeah, doing very well indeed. And just as for the cancellations you had and with, the virus and everything, you've been very active in your career, leading up to that point and then having to wait a little bit to get back in there. Was that like, did that make you just want to go in and fight all that much more, after having to wait a little bit longer than you usually do?
Yeah, and I on the 4 years I have make 11 fights, and I think in UFC I will make and 3 or 4 fights in a year, and for me it's very easy because I have not problems with weight, and my physical condition is very well every time.
Yeah, it's really rare too to see, somebody who's got only finishes in their career. You've never gone to a decision yet or anything
You
like
know,
that. So, that's always great to see and fun to watch, as fight fans and everything. Is it important to you to maintain that and, make sure you're always putting away your opponents?
yes, we make so our object in a cage to make so much pressure for my opponent, and they have not time to think to make something. Yeah, it's I must work on number one in the cage, and this give for me some uh, I I can be for one step earlier of my opponent.
Right, right. And you just mentioned the pressure there inside the cage, putting it on your opponents and everything. But, you have this excellent undefeated record, 13-0 now. And
Yeah.
outside of the cage, though, like mentally or anything like that, do you feel pressure because in terms of continuing to add on the wins and make your winning streak longer without losing, that can be hard for some people to deal with that and feel like, oh, maybe my next fight is going to be the one I'm going to lose. Do you feel pressure of having an undefeated record at all?
No, I don't have pressure of this zero in my career. It's This is a sport, and I understand that, and everyone fight can be mm, the this zero what can change, and it's not a problem for me because if the sportsman think about this undefeated, yeah, it's this give too much pressure for his mentality, yeah, and I think is how give the God for us, and all this from God, and victory and loses is not a problem.
Yeah, man, whatever's going to happen, will happen at some point, right? So, and just speaking of the winning streak and everything and being a heavyweight and all these great finishes and everything, it has drawn, comparisons. You're at heavyweight, like I said, with Fedor, who I think is one of your favorite fighters, right? And do you
Yeah.
hear about these comparisons, to maybe looking like a young Fedor and going on a long run like him? And just what do you think of, people mentioning that about you?
Fedor was don't was he's in, and now he's a favorite fighter of in he's the first fighter in my life um, who I can about Fedor I can say that he's my favorite fighter, and mm, he's the best in this in heavyweight division because he how he powerful fighter, and he powerful and outside of the cage. he slowly, he don't make these mistakes that much guys on this trash talk. Yeah, I don't like this because I have 3 children, and I must to show them that must be slowly, no, not slowly, it's quiet, yeah, mental stability, and um, I must show the respect of my opponents, because I must be a real man, not a man.
Right, right. A good role model, right?
Yeah,
Yes, good representation. Fedor is definitely that a very, very idolized person indeed. Um, and just to move forward a little bit, you did mention in fight camp right now. I mean, do you have an opponent set, or is there a time you're going to be getting in there soon, or what are the hopes for the next fight?
I don't know. Next fight, I have told to talk with my manager, and they say that probably my next fight will be in March, but I don't know who will be my opponent. But I want, if it will be from top 10, it will be very fun for me and very, very fun for my team, because it's uh, we can make the next step in our career, and because if we win for somebody from top 10, we can go up, and this can change our situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And do you think that you'll get a top 10 opponent next? I know you've wanted to fight Marcin Tybura because you guys didn't get to fight. Is that kind of still what you're hoping for?
Yeah, I want fight with Tibura because I don't like when in my career I have questions. Yeah, I want to close this question, and after this I can go with. So without problems, without these questions.
Yeah, like unfinished business a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, unfinished question. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, of course. If you look at the heavyweight scene and everything, it seems like fighters who are very exciting and get a lot of finishes, like yourself, it could be a little bit easier for good reason for them to climb up the ladder quicker. So, assuming you get a ranked opponent next and everything, how soon are you kind of hoping to get in, the title picture and everything?
I think after 3 fights, I can go in this title moments. Yeah, and because I understand that now in heavyweight have some problems with title, because the champ not so active. Yeah, he have he make just one fight in a year, and I think that this is a little problem for all our division. I think that champ champ must make 2 or 3 fights in a year, because he must sign that he is number one, and if he make just one fight in a year, it's he'll remain to very much questions, because all divisions stay in without work. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy too to think about, Stipe. He's fought the same person in his last three fights. That's kind of wild, isn't it? Just Daniel Cormier back to back.
yeah,
Yeah, but and also, he just got the rematch booked with Francis, so that's a
yeah.
rematch there too. What do you think about that one? Do you think that Francis, does he have a better shot in this one, or it's hard to tell because he hasn't had his fights have ended so quickly,
Yeah, Francis have in this weapon in just one shot. Yeah, and but Stipe have too higher fighter IQ, and if on first round Steve don't make mistakes and work from long distance, he can defend his belt. But if Ngannou can find this uh, short distance, he will be next champ.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, especially, having seen the first fight and everything, and Stipe being the first guy to, shut him down essentially. But also in that mix now is Jon Jones, I guess, is coming up to heavyweight. So
Yeah,
just like,
and
what do
this
you
is
think?
interesting too.
Yeah, like what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that he should do pretty good? Like it's such a crazy thing to finally think that it's going to happen.
And I think that this, if Stipe lose his belt and Ngannou become a champ, Ngannou will defend his belt versus Jon Jones. I think that this will be a very interesting fight, and I think that UFC make this is the object of UFC matchmakers.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah, of course. And just speaking of like figures and greatest of all time type of guys like Jon Jones, did you think about like, oh, it would be really cool to fight him, or are you like just solely focused on like getting the belt and being champion, or is that a goal of yours to oh, if I can fight Jon Jones, I would love to fight him.
Yeah.
New year, as I mentioned, 2021 now. Your goals, for this new year and everything, like where do you want to be once 2022 rolls around? Like what are you hoping to accomplish, in this year that we have 2021?
And 2021, now I make camp in here in Russia and South Ossetia, in North Ossetia. Here they have very good wrestlers, and I have come here to give up my skills in wrestling. And uh, after 1 week, I go back in Republic of Moldova, and I will wait the news from my manager if my next fight will be in USA. I go um, to US to make my camp in America. But if my fight will be in Abu Dhabi, I will stay here in North Ossetia and want to continue here my training camp.
Yeah, is that kind of, annoying at all, kind of having to adjust to the locations during this time, or is it just whatever?
Yeah, it's very important to have a location near your fight location.
Hmm.
Yeah, because we have 10 hours
Right.
difference with US, and this is a very big problem if I will make all my um, camp here in Republic of Moldova, and after this, when I fly in US, I have one on two or 1.5 week problems with the sleep, with my restability, and uh, from this site we go it's 5 week before the fight.
Right, right. Yeah, it's just a whole process, right? No matter what the fight is and where it is and everything. So
Yeah.
interesting stuff. But all right, Alexander, I won't keep you too much longer, man. Just one more question here for you. I love to hear about fighter nicknames and everything, and you got a great one, King Kong. Like, what's
Yeah.
the story behind this? Did you give it to yourself, or was like somebody called it to you? What's the story?
No, I don't choose this nickname. But when I have my my seventh fight in career, I take the full mount position and make double hammer twist. And after this, all my fans say that you must write that you're King Kong. You're the crazy man. And after this, we have signed that our nickname is King Kong, and now we go.
Yeah, it works very well. Have you seen King Kong? Do you like the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Classic, man. Definitely a classic. Oh, hey, you made it to the end. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you like this video and want to see more like it, give it a like and maybe subscribe if you haven't already. Until then, we'll see you next time.